So I was sitting here thinking about journaling about how you can run into someone else's karma and how I have run into other people's karma. Um, when you think about how often you help people and then things go wrong for you, you have to consider that when something is happening to someone, and I'm not saying 100% of the time, but most of the time, when things happen to people, it's because of energy that was put out into the universe and it has to be balanced. So that energy comes back. We manifest what we put out, you know. So sometimes things happen and me personally, I'm like a very strategic person. Like I literally can strategize a person's whole new life. You know what I mean? Like seriously. And so like if something was to happen to somebody and I feel like, well, you know what? I'm going to stand in front of this. We're going to switch this around and move this narrative around and change the way things look and the person that I'm helping or the client that I've helped has, missed the bullet, but then I end up standing in the way of the bullet. And I'm essentially telling the universe, hey, I'm gonna block what's inevitable, because they'll get the karma regardless. Somebody's gonna get it. But if you think you big and bad and you can tell the universe like, hey, no, I'm gonna make sure this misses this person, then you gotta be looking out for your delayed wins and some of your losses. Sometimes like if people come to you and they might need to borrow money, it might be because they might not have the money that they needed to have because they did some shit. And here you are playing Superman or super bad bitch, and you put your cape on, and here lend the people the money. You lend them your energy because money is energy, and then it turns out this motherfucker don't give you your money back. So that's one example of the imposition of karma onto you. Now you've taken on their debt. You know what I mean? And or like I've had occurrences when I was younger where my neighbor, she was my friend, and her boyfriend used to kick her ass. And I would call my brother, and he would come. You know what I mean? But it got her out of the situation. But then her then boyfriend started to harass me. And so the karma was switched because she ain't really had no business kicking it with him anyway because she was fucking behind her friend. You see what I'm saying? So it has taken me a long time to just even conceive why things happen, why energetically sometimes things are not balanced with me, or if I know that I've 100% balanced the scales of my own energy and my karmic debt has been settled, why sometimes my wins are slowed down. I'm 100% sure of the fact that the way that I work and the way that I live and the things that I do and how I carry myself and my intentions in life have put me in a situation where I know that I'm supposed to see millions. I should already be on my 50th million by now. But it's some things that I have done that have programmed my own karma to slow down my wins. You got to be careful about, it's just like how you file your taxes. How you file your taxes, you're telling the universe, you're telling the IRS, hey, this is how I want my money to be handled. And when you jump in front of people's karma or you run into burning buildings, then you telling the universe, hey, I'll take this karma on. And it really, really just dawned on me, like, I have walked away from situations and my life got better almost instantly. And I'm grateful for that. But I'm more grateful right now to realize why. Like, to add that up just makes so much, it makes so much sense now. We have to really, really take our time. And, if people are putting out bad into the world, you have to kind of fall back. Or, if their energy is not picking up at the pace that they should be picking it up, and they not, getting the lessons, you got to fall back, because you got to let them endure what they got to endure. And hopefully y'all can meet up at a later time when y'all are in the same space. But yeah, like right now there's a call to people for isolation so that we can heal. Me personally, I've isolated from a lot of my friends and family, and it's time for me to focus on my own wins, and that's what I'm gonna do. Another point that I wanted to make about getting in the way of people's karma is when you invest money. You know what I mean? You can invest money with people, and their karma is in a deficit, so they're not gonna reap blessings or wins. You know what I mean? So now you done tied your money up with this person who is supposed to be in a karmic, in a reaping of what they sowed, and now here's you take losses, multiple losses, thousands and thousands of dollars you lose. You know what I mean? Because you're not paying attention and not being realistic about what this person is doing. You're not really keeping it real with yourself. You know what I mean? Or you can have people who have conversations with you, and they may not be happy, at the time, and you got to tiptoe around what you say, or these conversations create anxiety for you. Now you have acquired their anxiety, or their overall general negativity. There's your karma, because you really not supposed to interject yourself into what they're reaping. We really got to be realistic about the people that we deal with and the things that they do, and keep it funky with ourselves about the shit that we do. When I was going through my karmic debt, I knew what the fuck I did, and I went away from everybody. I tried to isolate myself. I didn't impose my stress and my anxiety on other people, because my misery don't love company. And a lot of people say that, but they don't mean it. They, sling their misery around to whoever's around. I'm not like that. I'm the opposite. So I was able to go inside and get, deal with it and figure out what I needed to do to rebalance myself. But we got to be realistic. We got to be realistic about the lovers that we take into our bodies and the people that we deal with. It affects our energy and our future. I hope you guys get this, and have a good weekend.